Here's the news you can use. Today is December 12, 2025, and this is the Exchange Daily, your briefing for CIOs, CISOs, CTOs, and public sector and enterprise tech leaders who want to stay ahead of AI, cyber, and modernization. Today, we're tracking a federal 1-2 punch that could reshape both state-by-state AI compliance and how agencies buy large language models. We'll also cover OpenAI's GPT-5.2 release, Google Cloud's official Model Context Protocol move, and a practical set of cost and security governance updates from AWS, NIST, and Microsoft. If you run enterprise platforms, this is a day to tighten your controls without slowing your teams down. The White House signed a new executive order aimed at pushing AI policy toward a single national framework while challenging what it calls onerous state AI laws. It creates an AI litigation task force within 30 days and directs Commerce to publish an evaluation of state AI laws within 90 days with candidates for legal challenge. It also ties eligibility for certain remaining broadband equity access and deployment, non-deployment funds, to whether a state has laws the order labels as onerous. In parallel, the Office of Management and Budget issued Memo M2604 that tells agencies to add contractual requirements for truth-seeking and ideological neutrality when buying large language models and to request vendor documentation to validate compliance. For leaders, the takeaway is volatility, so plan for two futures at once: a shifting state landscape and a tightening federal procurement bar. OpenAI announced GPT-5.2, positioning it as a new model series built for professional work and long-running agent workflows. The release lands in ChatGPT and the API, and OpenAI's own framing emphasizes improved tool use, longer context performance, and higher reliability on complex multi-step work. Where this gets real for enterprises is cost and control, because new pricing, new model naming, and new tech platforms coming soon. And new capability tiers can change both unit economics and governance defaults overnight. If you've got production agents, treat this like a platform upgrade. Rerun your evaluation suite, validate tool call guardrails, and only then broaden rollout. Google Cloud announced official Model Context Protocol support for Google and Google Cloud services, delivered through fully managed remote MCP servers. The headline isn't the protocol itself, it's the managed, enterprise-ready endpoint that reduces the do-it-yourself burden of maintaining local MCP servers or fragile open-source connectors. Google also ties this to Apogee, which signals a move toward governing agent tool access the same way you govern APIs, with policy, identity, and audit in one control plane. For CTOs and platform teams, this is a nudge to standardize agent tool integration now, before every business unit invents its own connector stack. New York signed legislation that requires advertisements to disclose when AI-generated synthetic performers are used, which pushes transparency into the creative supply chain. The same announcement highlights a separate law that requires consent to use a person's name, image, or likeness after death for commercial purposes, which raises the bar for rights management. For enterprises, this is a concrete compliance signal that generative media controls are moving from optional best practice to required workflow, especially in marketing and customer communications. If you're using generative video, voice, or likeness tools, you'll want provenance tracking, vendor terms, and disclosure steps built into the normal creative pipeline. Out of AWS re:Invent, AWS Cloud Financial Management published launches meant to modernize day-to-day FinOps practices across large, multi-account organizations. AWS highlights multi-source billing views that can aggregate shared billing views from up to 20 payer accounts, along with new dashboards, billing transfer capabilities, and expanded anomaly detection. In plain terms, AWS is trying to make spend attribution and operating controls easier, so finance and engineering can argue less about invoices and more about outcomes. If cloud cost trust is a board-level issue for you, this is worth a quick scan with your FinOps lead to see which features can simplify showback and chargeback next quarter. NIST published an initial public draft of Special Publication 800-70 Revision 5, updating the National Checklist Program and how security configuration checklists are built and used. The draft emphasizes usability, automation, and traceability, including mappings between checklist settings and frameworks and control catalogs used for compliance evidence. It also expands coverage to cloud platforms, Internet of Things environments, and AI systems, which is a reminder that baseline hardening still matters in modern stacks. If you're running ATO, FedRAMP, or internal audit programs, this is a good moment to align your configuration baseline process with where federal guidance is headed. Microsoft's Security Response Center announced an in-scope by default approach that expands bug bounty eligibility to include all online services by default. The practical shift is that a critical vulnerability can be bounty eligible when it has a direct and demonstrable impact to Microsoft Online services, even if the vulnerable code is third-party or open source. This is a signal that modern risk lives at the seams, and it rewards research that crosses product boundaries and dependency chains. For security leaders, it's also a useful governance pattern. So review your own scope language, your intake process for external reports, and how quickly you can verify and remediate issues in shared components. That's the operational picture for today. And it's a reminder that AI acceleration and governance are converging in the same places. If you want a single action to take today, align your agent tooling strategy with a clear audit and control model, because that's where policy, platform moves, and security programs collide. We'll keep tracking how federal policy and vendor roadmaps are reshaping the rules of the road for enterprise IT. Thanks for listening to today's Exchange Daily. Have a great weekend, and we'll continue Monday with both the Exchange Daily newscast and the Exchange Weekly newsletter.